All right, so this is AEW Dynamite, March 30th, 2022, with Miggy Reyes and Smoking Moda.
What up?
So let's get straight into it. Opener, CM Punk versus Max Caster. This rap by Caster, I enjoyed it a lot. This one was a banger. Like we always had to judge Caster's rap. It's like just a given. Like it's his entertainment value is his rap and like
Yeah,
his like above average wrestling,
the only
but
things that
it's
really
mostly
got
the rap.
the only thing that got me were like the Will Smith and Hunter Biden lines. Really?
Yeah, the Will Smith line was funny. I enjoyed their ending line where he's like, "I'm gonna make you crap your pants like a Z pack or something," which was hilarious. Because if you know the story, CM Punk said that he crapped his pants one time in WWE because he was on so much of these meds that they were giving
Oh,
him to so he can like they were kind of like pain relief almost. So they just kept giving it to him so he can keep performing. And then like he was like drugged up so much from the meds that he like he just crapped himself on live TV in like one of the matches. And I can't remember what match it was, but
all right, huh?
yeah, like CM Punk said it was, when he left, he mentioned that it was so I enjoyed that line. All right, so Punk starts focusing the arm of Caster, and Caster just keeps running to the ropes to like get the rope break, and he's getting massively booed by the crowd. Caster does backbreaker with his knee. So like he like it's kind of like a Uranagi where they pick you up, but then like instead of hitting them on the mat, you hit them on the knee. That's the backbreaker. Caster just chops the Punk in the face and then hits him with a brainbuster for two. Caster goes for the mic drop, which is just like a top rope elbow drop, but Punk cuts him off with a Hurricanrana off the top rope. Punk hits his signature moves, and then Bowens hits Punk, but the ref didn't hear anything, so it was legal. So I'm gonna keep harping back to this because I think it was on Rampage it happened, right? Where Aubrey was just like, I heard it, and then kicked someone out. So I'm gonna keep mentioning this because they made it.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
if they don't kick someone out after interference like this, when I can audibly hear it, then I'm gonna complain because they did it before and they're not doing it again. All right. So Caster hits a drop kick with the Punk hanging on the ropes, like a missile drop kick essentially, and then he goes for mic drop again and he misses. Punk then struggled to lift Caster into a pile driver. Like he struggled big time. It was just like your basic, like you lift him up a bit and then you like sit out pile driver like that. He could not lift him up. Like he really had to use all the power to do it. And then locks in Anaconda Vice, submission win 932. So Tony Schiavone interviews Punk at the end, and then he questions Punk. He's just like, Punk, I think last week made a motion where he takes both his hands and then motions that there's something around his waist.
He does
You
like the
know, like
belt, pretending like
yeah,
there's a
like
belt there.
yeah, like there's a belt there. So like Tony is like, so what did that mean? It's like, bro, what do you think it meant, Tony? Like, and then Punk said the same thing, just like Tony, what do you think it means? I want the belt. Like, yeah, duh. And basically, Punk is just like he says that by at the end of his time in AEW, he will be world champ, and just took about 2 minutes. I'm starting to time the promos. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, you could go for
yeah. I was
it.
just gonna say match overall, all right. Max Caster's usually a pretty solid worker when it comes to working with like the main eventers. But I think just kind of like focusing on like the important part of this is generally Punk going into like the world title picture.
Yeah, Punk
And
next after Cole loses.
yeah, but the only thing is going to be kind of weird face versus face with Page versus Punk or
You can always do face versus face. That's not it's not bad. What's weird to me is always heel
heel
versus
versus heel.
heel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely face versus face is better than heel versus heel, but I don't know. I think it's gonna be kind of weird. I mean, I'd picture it more like MJF takes off Page, and then Punk goes after MJF.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think Punk wins. I think like they'll probably put it on Punk later. But like if
Yeah,
Punk challenges next, he's not winning.
yeah, no, Adam Cole is not winning that thing anytime soon.
Yeah. Okay. So backstage, we have Pinnacle drama. FTR do not want to fight with Wardlow because they say Wardlow is their friend. MJF says that, yo, I don't mean to say anything to you, like to like bring down or anything, but like Wardlow talks shit about you guys behind your back. I was just like, okay, that's like typical like schoolyard type of bully thing.
That got a laugh out of me.
Yeah, and then FTR reluctantly, mostly Dax Harwood reluctantly, put their hand in like the middle for like the pinnacle always come out on top, whatever kind of gimmick. All right, so Jay Lethal versus John Moxley. So before match started, I wrote here, I'm expecting Lethal to lose here and then go heel. That was my prediction for the match, and it almost happened. So Lethal offers a handshake and then Mox slaps it. Very loud dueling chants. I think more of them were for John Moxley than for Lethal, but I mean they were both loud. I was rooting for Lethal here. I knew he wasn't gonna win, but I wanted to see him win.
Yeah, I know that the crowd chants were pretty intense at the beginning for both guys.
Yeah. So Moxley smacks Lethal, and then they start to trade shots with each other. Mox ends up winning the exchange. The superplex gets denied, and then Lethal throws Moxley onto the top rope and hits his balls. I'm trying to remember the spot. Okay, I remember it now.
That's one
Uh,
way to put it.
yeah. Tope by Lethal before the commercial. It looks like Lethal has control of Mox for the break. They trade forearm shots again. Lethal got decapitated by a clothesline. Like he got absolutely like clocked by it. It was pretty. It was such a nice clothesline. I love myself a good clothesline where the person looks like they just got like beheaded. Lethal gets lethal combination. Moxley goes for paradigm shift, but he can't lift him up. Lethal injection gets countered into a sleeper. Lethal counters uh something like another move with a pin for a near fall. He hits a brain buster and then hits an elbow drop, still another near fall. And like Lethal's kind of like he just loses his composure because he doesn't know what to do to put Moxley away. He tries to go for a figure four onto Moxley, and Mox pins him, but Lethal kicks out. So Lethal goes to do like a clothesline, but then Mox kind of transitions that straight into a paradigm shift for a win. And Moxley offers his hand to Jay Lethal. And I thought, all right, here it comes. Lethal about to turn heel right here. But then Lethal just looks like he's about to cry and then shakes Moxley's hand and then walks away. So it didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah. I if I could, I'll just share my thoughts. Yeah, I think this was just to like kind of catch people up who didn't see Rampage last time when Lethal was like, "Oh, nothing's working. What can I do?" I think this was kind of to like exemplify or emphasize the fact that like Lethal's running of ideas of how to win like the big ones on TV. So he's going to change something up, which well we figure out later. But AEW kind of has this habit of like really hammering in the idea of something big's about to change. Because I
Always do
remember,
slow turns. They never do like big like a quick turn. Like it's always like a slow build up to the eventual turn.
yeah, I recall back when we like started watching Dynamite and the Dark Order was trying to recruit Cole Cabana, and they legit spent like a full month trying to like make Cole Cabana like change his mind and join the Dark Order. And even back then, I was like, they are spending like way too much time on this. And luckily, it seems like Lethal's change happened fairly quickly, and hopefully it'll like be the same on AEW. But I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I think Lethal is on like a 3 or 4 match losing streak right now because he lost to Starks, he lost to Cole, he loses to Moxley. I don't know if he lost to someone else too before then,
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
and they were all big matches too. Like it was a big match versus Starks for the FTW championship, and he lost. He did lose to Adam Cole, which you would assume would be like a very big match too. And then versus John Moxley, this is also a big match, and he lost it. So
Yeah, I don't know if he's like he's probably getting wins on like Dark or Dark Elevation, but on TV we've only seen him lose.
yeah. So and then this was the build to. So for people that don't know, we are recording this on Saturday, which April 2nd, and Supercard of Honor was Friday, April 1st, and this was basically the build to Jay Lethal turning heel at Supercard of Honor was what this was setting up for. Okay. They had a Marina Shafir video package. Do you think she's gonna beat Jade Cargill?
I had no clue who she was when they
It's
were playing that
Roderick
video.
Strong's wife. Marina
Okay,
Shafir is Roderick Strong's wife,
the
and she
more
was
you
a former
know.
MMA player, or why did I say player? Former MMA fighter.
Uh, well now I know. I mean, she looked intimidating in the video package, so that's a good sign. But I know nothing about her because I'm assuming she's only been on Dark so far.
Yeah, probably.
So hopefully she gets some like squash matches on Dynamite or whatever.
I mean, it seems like they signed her. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Next match, Top Guys, FTR, Dex Harwood, Cash Wheeler versus I wrote them down as the Ass Boys, but they're a gun club, Colton and Billy. No, Colton and Austin Gunn. My bad. I'm not sure. This was like before the match, like right as the match was starting. I don't know what the fuck Austin was doing, like on the ropes, but for some reason it made me laugh.
Like the taunting or
Yeah, like the obnoxious little taunting that he was doing. I don't know. So Gun Club was being hella obnoxious like usual. FTR was getting cheered as if they were faces, and I think for this match, because this is what I don't like because it's heel versus heel. So FTR was working as the faces here,
yeah.
which is like yes, they're likable. People want to cheer them, but like they're meant to be heels, and like the way that they fight is meant to be heelish. And then the Gun Club are like obnoxious heels, so it's like this is why I don't like the heel versus heel dynamic. Like at least with face versus face, it's like easier.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
just FTR is just turning or going to. It just seems like with the friction between MJF and all that.
yeah. So where was there was something here? MJF on commentary said that Aubrey is like a really bad ref, and then I said I agree in my
Yeah.
comment. And then I put mentioned example. She does not throw out Billy Gunn after Billy Gunn just popped Cash so loud and screamed out "suck it." Like you can throw out 10 for not hitting someone and just hearing a steel step noise, but like you hear like a loud ass pop on Cash Wheeler and then a "suck it" right after, and it's like nope, don't throw that person out either. Okay, good one, Aubrey. Commercial break and Gun Club basically took control after Billy Gunn like basically decked Cash Wheeler on the outside. Cash makes the hot tag, and then Dax Harwood goes wild. And then this I thought was like really weird. It was like Colton Gunn, I think, just goes into the ring, and then he's in there for like 20 seconds or something. And I'm just like, Aubrey, why aren't you throwing Colton Gunn out of the ring?
I don't
Like
think
he's
this
not
is the
like
first time something like that has happened in a tag match on AEW.
yeah, it was like come on, like this is a little bit too far. Like you're you're literally letting him stay there way longer than he's supposed to be. And then the camera randomly found Wardlow the moment he starts walking into the building. And then like security gets sent at him one by one and he just beats the crap out of every single one and then power bombs another one on a table. And then I think there was like I think it was Dax try to roll up Austin or Colton, I can't remember which one. But then Billy Gunn just jumps onto the apron and then starts holding his son's hand so he doesn't get rolled up. And Aubrey is straight up looking at this. I'm just like, yo, Aubrey, Billy Gunn is blatantly cheating right in front of your eyes, and you're not kicking him out of the match.
Nope.
Like he is holding the person's arm so he doesn't get pinned. Like, and you are looking at this. Like I can see your line of sight is directly at Billy Gunn, and you're not doing anything. And then FTR just hits the big rig anyway for the win, and it was like a 12-minute match. Like this was such an afterthought. Like literally the whole point of this was just to get Wardlow on there and to like
Yeah.
set up drama between Pinnacle
The match
because it
just
looks like FTR is gonna like dip out. Like this was what this was.
the match just kind of like paused for the entire Wardlow segment. And I mean, it wasn't a bad match. It was just the focus of it wasn't on the match, and as usual, they have the outside interference, which wasn't needed at all.
Yeah, the focus definitely wasn't supposed to be the match. Like the focus was supposed to be the Wardlow. Like,
Yeah,
but like I, I think they did this very poorly. This was not not good.
they
And like I don't mind outside interference, but like you can't just blatantly cheat in front of the ref and then the ref be like so incompetent that they can't just like throw someone out. Especially considering that literally the last week the ref threw out the faces for what she thought was cheating, and then like the heels are blatantly cheating right in front of her eyes and she's not throwing them out. Like
yeah
like
this
that's just really fucking bad.
this needed work because Warlow kind of needed his like more time to for what he's doing, and then the overbooking of everything else was meh.
Yep. So then we have Jericho Appreciation Society talk, and then they're all dressed up really weirdly. And then the crowd kind of wants to cheer Jericho, but they sound really conflicted. And then they did that little gimmick where they're just like, "Oh, no one's over here because they're not here. We beat them up," like this thing that they did last week. And then like you knew this week that they had to be there this time. Like they weren't gonna have 2 weeks in a row where they're not there. And then yeah, as who was it like Parker checked on the back, or no, it was Hager. It was Hager checked on the back. He gets hit in the eye with like the malt ball or whatever, and then Santana Ortiz and Kingston just start beating up everyone in the Appreciation Society. Kingston's fighting Jericho into the arena, and then while Eddie Kingston's beating up Chris Jericho, he ends up fist pumping or high fiving a kid. Or he high fived a kid. That's what it was. He high fived a kid as he's beating up Jericho, which I thought was funny. Garcia got sent through a chair. Hager, who was basically down for like 3 minutes after getting hit in the eye, finally starts running back and then beats up all three members of Kingston and PNP. The Appreciation Society takes control of the fighting, and then they just keep beating on everyone. And then Jericho hits Kingston with the bat while he's being held in Daniel Garcia's sharpshooter. And then Jericho starts whipping Kingston with his belt while Proud and Powerful are forced to watch. And then it was at this point when the crowd started booing. And then this whole thing took about like 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
For a beatdown segment, this went a lot longer than expected. And what was Kingston's and Ortiz and Santana's plan for like three guys without weapons going after a group of five
They
who
had a
carry
malt
around a
ball. What do you
baseball
mean? They had a
bat?
weapon there.
Wait, what was their weapon?
the malt ball they hit with Hager in the eye, and that they just never used again.
Well, okay, I think that was the thing. I was like, okay, they used that once, and they were
Yeah.
like, okay, we have the advantage. We could take them, guys.
Even though AEW does like to make their faces be a little bit smart, they can't be too smart, you know. They have to be like stupid, like at least 80% of the time. And they can only be intelligent 20% of the time. That's the deal.
This definitely was one of those 80% of the moment times.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like I don't watch sports entertainment, so those I think those segments are kind of boring to me. And this was a sports entertainment like segment. That's why I didn't enjoy it that much and found it a little bit boring.
Yeah,
So,
I have not been a fan of these segments, sadly.
listen, if I just wanted to see like a crappier version of what WWE does, then I would just watch WWE. Okay. Or not a crap like I don't want to see a crappier version of what WWE does. I want to see something different than what they do. Because if I just wanted what their version, I would watch their version because that's what they excel at. I don't want to see a crappier version of that, even if they have Jericho. Okay, that's just what I like. All right, we have Jade Cargill. Looks like Sterling chose Leva Bates, and then she got pissed, and then this is when we find out it's Marina Shafir instead. Um, Brian Danielson versus Wheeler Yuta. And then I think they are known as the Blackpool Combat Club. So this is the second time in a month that they face each other. Danielson shows off his abilities and then he chops Yuta, who comes back and basically wants to fight. Danielson tries to break Yuta's bridge, but he cannot. Danielson goes for a drop kick, but Yuta counters with his own, and then they start raining down shots. Yuta has an inverted figure four, and then he bridges back, but Danielson reaches the ropes for the break. Yuta goes top rope but gets kicked in gut. Danielson had control throughout the whole break. Yuta is not giving up. Yuta starts to rally, and the crowd really got behind him. Danielson hits Yuta with his elbows and goes cattle mutilation, but Yuta counters and hits his own version of the elbows. And then he goes for like this really unique pin that they called a C hook on commentary. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. I'm gonna just look up Wheeler Yuta like pin move or whatever. They called it a seat hook. So there's no way I'd be able to describe that perfectly. And he got a very close near fall from that. But Danielson then hits a Busaiku knee, and then as he's picking up Yuta, Yuta just spits like the grossest spit ever straight into Danielson's face. And then he got super pissed and then stomped his head in, hits a Gosh style pile driver, locks in the bell lock, and then gets a submission win at like 10 minutes. And it was, he got mad. He was very mad.
You could see the spit like very
Yeah, you could.
clearly on
I put
TV.
that on here too. It's like you can still see some of the spit that's on Danielson's beard right now. As he's like celebrating the win, it's like, oh, dude, it was like you would have basically hawked a loogie straight into there. Like that was a gross spit.
That's very accurate. And yeah,
Yes.
I'm willing to say that this was a really good match. Very hard hitting. Happy the direction they're taking Wheeler Yuta into with the Blackpool Combat Club.
Hmm.
The
I
only
hope he
thing,
gets put in.
yeah, the only thing I could say is maybe if it had like a little bit more time, would have been a little bit better. But other than that, I think it was a solid match all around, especially
I
for
mean,
being like middle of the card.
they got 10 minutes. I thought that was pretty decent time, 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Uh, Undisputed Elite, because they can't call themselves Undisputed Era. So Undisputed Elite comes out with the titles that they stole from Page and Jurassic Express. And then I started laughing because I noticed that they put paper over like their nameplates.
mm. They had like the tape with their names over the actual
Yeah,
champions.
it was. I thought that was really funny. And then they opened up the box, and I was like, "Wow, there's only five balloons in that party surprise box," which is really dumb. They basically said AEW needs like a new era for to run the show, so I guess they're doing callbacks to Undisputed Era. They talk about basically nothing of importance. Like
Ki-
they handed it over to Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know if he
This
forgot
was
his
the
lines or
best part.
something. Like I really don't know if he like I dude, did he forget his lines or did he mean to like
I thought he went off script. I thought he actually was drunk when he said that and just said. Kyle O'Reilly said I had too much champagne. Like after just kind of stumbling over what he was gonna say before that, sits down on the ring and passes it back to like Cole, right? And I thought he was legitimately like going off script or whatever they had planned.
I literally just thought he forgot
That's what
what he was
probably.
gonna say, and that's why he came up with that. And then they're just like, all right, well, we'll just ad lib it from here. Like I was watching on or looking at Twitter, people were just like, never give Kyle O'Reilly a microphone again. And I was like, that's a little harsh, but I understand why they're upset with that. Yeah, but I mean they basically talked about like nothing. And then Paige comes out with his like JBL like car, and then they start brawling. Paige basically wiped out everyone by himself, and then as Undisputed are trying to walk away, Jurassic Express comes out from behind, and then they like throw them back in, and then they just get hit by a bunch of moves. This actually only took 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
It felt a lot longer.
It did feel a lot longer.
I'm willing to say that Undisputed Elite is not being booked well. They look like idiots, basically. They go out there, their celebration is five balloons in a box,
That was
and
funny.
they're just acting real childish, and they lose the titles like only 1 week later after having it. And this entire time, Cole's the only one who's talking, or able to talk for the group. And he just sounds like a really salty, like, teenager at this point.
That is true. He does sound like a salty teenager.
So yeah,
Um,
they're not looking that good as like the
yeah.
top challengers.
I wouldn't be surprised if Red Dragon wins. I don't know if they'll win, but like if they do win, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
saying that would they win? I have no idea. Thunder Rosa comes out next, so she got to do her promo that she couldn't do last week. Um, I didn't fact check this. SSO needs to fact check it though. She said Thunder Rosa says that she is the first Mexican-born champion in America. Like have a like holding a probably woman is what I assume she meant by that. Like in a major promotion, first Mexican-born champion in a major American promotion in America. And I don't know if that's true because like I was trying to think of like, all right, who have been champions in like major promotions? I thought Rey Mysterio, but he's actually was born in California, not in
Yeah.
Mexico. And then I was trying to think, and the only other person I could think of was Alberto Del Rio because he was born in Mexico.
But we don't
But
talk about him anymore.
yeah, we don't. But I don't know if that is like I don't because this is where it matters. Like because if it's first Mexican-born champion, then that's not true because Alberto Del Rio was first.
Yeah.
But if she says first Mexican-born women's champion in America, then that could be legit.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't I don't know. But I wrote down here, and I think she said first Mexican-born champion. She said first Mexican-born champion. So if we're going by that, by her words there, then no, that's not true. Alberto Del Rio was the first one that I can remember. I actually don't even know, like if Alberto Del Rio was the first one, but like I know that he definitely was before Thunder Rosa. And anyway, she wants to be the face of the women's wrestling, and says that bullies will always try to stop you when you're at top. And then this whole thing was like 2:30, which I'm surprised that her talking like that was only 2 minutes shorter than like the whole Undisputed Elite segment.
That is true. It was surprising.
FTR promo where they say they take wrestling too seriously. They will become Ring of Honor tag champions, and then they want to be two-time AEW tag champs. But first, they want a rematch with the Bucks to determine the greatest tag team of all time.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's actually next Wednesday. So that will be next Dynamite show. I think that's also for the Ring of Honor titles too. So also, if you have people don't know about Supercard of Honor, FTR are the champions. They beat the Briscoes, and I would say guys should go out of your way to watch that match. That was a very amazing match. So yeah. Okay, we have an Owen Hart qualifier match, the Bunny versus Tony Storm. Tony Storm was the surprise. I think everyone predicted it. I messaged you earlier. I was like, I think it's Tony Storm. It
Oh yeah.
was. So Tony Storm starts off by decking Bunny. I wrote this match should basically just be a showcase for Tony Storm, right? Like it shouldn't be anything else.
Well,
Like so I wasn't expecting Bunny to get much of anything.
yeah.
And then Bunny, like you do need apparently to have the heels have like their what's the word I'm looking for? Like their rest area during commercial break where they're just doing like a bunch of holds and then they have like control. So like that's basically what Bunny did for like half the match. Storm does her comeback, and then she hits like a pretty nasty looking headbutt. She does like her butt attack in the corner or hip attack, whatever. I called it the ass attack on here, but I don't know if that's a good idea to keep calling it that. I'll just switch a hip attack in the corner, and then hits a fisherman suplex for a 2 count. Um, Bunny does hit a Death Valley driver, and it actually shocked me that Bunny could do a Death Valley driver. I didn't think she was capable of doing that. So I was stunned that she did that. Um, Tony Storm double super kicks Bunny, meaning she kicked her twice, not like Young Bucks double super kick where two people kick one
There were
person.
two Tony
No, two
Storms.
Tony Storms just no, it's like she just super kicks Bunny twice, gets a two, and then she counters Bunny's finisher with Storm Zero, which I think just looked like a pile driver. I don't
It
think that
did.
actually was her. Yeah, I don't think that's actually what Storm Zero is. I think she just hit a pile driver. Um, and then Tony won, and she looks like she's about to cry. It was like 8:40 was the match length.
Overall, honestly, I'm kind of upset that I didn't enjoy this one more. It just felt like it never really picked up. Maybe because it was against the bunny, but I don't know.
Probably because it's against the bunny.
Yeah, I didn't feel like Tony Storm really got like too much in for like that showcase you were talking about that I definitely wanted to see, but like nothing really stood out about this match, which is a shame because I think like Tony Storm is probably going to make a big name for herself in AEW. It's just that this wasn't really like a good first step.
Yeah, it wasn't a good match. It definitely needed a lot more work. I didn't like it.
Yeah, me
It was
neither.
This was what's this main event? Yeah, main event, Andrade versus Darby Allin. So pre-match prediction, Andrade should probably get the win here. That was what I put down. So Darby is skating down the ramp when Andrade just torpedoed over the top rope and took him
That
out.
is true.
And I thought that was like very unique. I was not expecting that, but I enjoyed it. Then he throws Darby over the timekeeper table, then drops him on the table again. He then throws him face first onto the apron, tries to shoulder ram him into the steps, but Darby dodges. Darby jumps on Andrade back with the skateboard. So like basically off the apron, he jumps on his back with the skateboard. Sorry. I should have had a high like possession down in there. Darby then gets suplexed onto the steel steps, and then finally they go into the ring and the match can start. This is like probably what, like 3 minutes of them like just beating the hell out of each other outside before the match officially started.
Oh yeah, it took a while before the bell rang.
So Andrade was basically beating the crap out of Darby. And then there is just this oh my God moment for me where Andrade does like this back body drop onto Darby, and Darby did a full rotation and landed on his knees instead of on his back. I was just like, dude, why are you taking that bump? That's so nasty of a bump.
Yeah, that's Darby
Like,
for you.
Darby's not going to be able to wrestle past like the age of 35 or something.
Yeah.
So, Andrade basically, for the most part, just was beating the crap out of Darby, like all through commercial break. Darby does get a code red in there for a 2 count, but Andrade just like beats him down again. They trade slaps. Like there's at one point where they're just trading slaps with each other, but if you really paid attention, they were whiffing most of the shots. Like they probably threw like if we say they threw like 100 of them, they probably only connected on like 15. Like they were basically hitting air. They weren't even hitting each other. At the end, Andrade did win the exchange though, and then knocked Darby to the ground. So Andrade takes his belt off right in front of the ref, and then the ref just takes it away from him. And then Darby manages to hit a like his like stunner where he comes over the top of the person's shoulder, and then he gets a 2 count. Andrade hits like this huge backbreaker, um, and then avalanche crucifix bomb by Darby into an armbar. So Jose came out to try to put a like interfere or whatever, and then Sting takes him out, and then Butcher and Blade come out, and then they beat up Sting. So then Darby goes to the top turnbuckle and then hits a dive onto Butcher and Blade to wipe both of them out. And then Andrade takes advantage and hits El Idolo DDT for the win. It was about 10-17. AFO. This, this part was really funny. So the AFO started attacking Sting, and then Private Party come out, and the crowd started cheering because they thought it was the Hardys.
Yeah.
And then they have to play the Hardys music, and then that's when the crowd got like super hyped that the Hardys came out to make the save. And then they hit a twist of fate on Mark Quinn and then a swanton bomb to like close out the show.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a fun match. I'm happy to see Andrade win for once.
I'm sad that Andrade won through distraction means. I don't like that.
Yeah, AEW is really bad when it comes to heels getting clean wins because they never do. But
They used to get clean wins like all the time. Now it's just like they want to protect everyone because they have so many big names.
yeah, they really need to like prioritize when this could happen because it gets pretty annoying when like there's interference every match with big names.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, Dynamite was pretty decent. I enjoyed the CM Punk Max Caster match. I also enjoyed Yuta versus Danielson. Those two probably my top matches. Oh, wait, I did like Jay Lethal versus John Moxley too. All right, so I guess like the first hour was good for me, but the second hour was not that good.
Yeah, I thought the matches were decent to pretty good. This Dynamite, I thought the promo segments were kind of bad for the most part, but overall, I say it's a alright episode Dynamite.
Yeah, it wasn't anything too special. I think last week's episode was like way better.
Oh, definitely, I'd say so.
Yeah,
But with that being said, we'll be seeing you guys next week for next week's Dynamite.
peace.